Hello friends and neighbors, we are back. 5 days of rest and relaxation. Well, rest and relaxation, sure, let's call it that. But what we really had were 5 days of pondering, of sitting around thinking, what can I do with these wrenches? I got so excited this morning, I came in a little early and I took a rotary tool and started grinding some of this down, because look at how beat up it is over here on this 18-inch. So I started grinding this down, and man, this is going to be the heck of a project. And we're not going to worry about grinding this down just yet today. But what we are going to do is immediately get a phone call, almost immediately as we start filming. It's almost like it's on cue. I tell you, my friends, it's been 5 days of excitement, just dreaming of the time I could come here and spend with you taking apart this Ridgid wrench. Now, what I'm going to do with this 18-inch, I've been thinking about this 5 days, just thinking about that little bit of paint that's still on there, and it's really bugging me. So I'm going to adjust the camera. I have no idea if we're doing anything right, doing it good, doing bad. Who knows? I thought I didn't have this drill handy the other day. Hello? Enough of that phone call. I've been dreaming about this. And you know, the other day when I was here, 5 days ago now, when I was here last, I said, oh, I don't have the drill handy. No, I do. It was right here to my right, sitting right there looking right at me. And here I am now, just regretting every second I spent not grinding this little bit of paint that's left off of here. Always wear eye protection. Okay. I've had this Ryobi for about 20 years. The cool thing about it is you can lock it, and you don't have to keep pressing the button. You press it down and then you push this and you're locked in. Hey now. This is really causing a problem. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to take one of these clamps I have handy and just clamp this down, so I don't have to worry about it shooting out. You can use both hands if need be. Probably not the best clamp to use for this operation, but oh, there's Sonny. Now these old Ryobis, the chuck is garbage. Yeah, it's a little loosey-goosey. I don't be so extreme. It's garbage. No, it's just not that great. Okay. Let's give it a little look here. Take these glasses off. Man, I'm telling you, it's just something else. But you can see here the difference when you give it the old wire brush treatment there. Now imagine doing that on a decent bench grinder, or on a using a drill press or something. You could really get in there. So that's that. This is this excitement right here. Just been waiting to do that for days. It's been a weird few days just thinking of that. Now, you say to yourself, why are you setting those over to the side? Because the fun never stops here. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna clean this up. We're gonna get it degreased. We're gonna get it derusted. But I have something else to show you, friends and neighbors. Oh yes, my bread and butter, the Crescent adjustable wrench, the 8-inch. This one's got some problems. It's got a chunk taken out right here, and we're gonna smooth it down. And it may not close all the way. Well, it does now, but it may kind of have a gap. That's better than having a chunk missing, right? It's gonna look real pretty. We can get these real shiny. These things are fun. Great first renovation if you can do it. Problem is this little set screw here that gets the gear out. Well, sometimes, well, a lot of times, these get stripped or they break. So you have to be real careful with the when you're disassembling. But that's not all. We've got this thing. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what brand this is. It's got so much rust on it. There's some sort of writing here. Let's close it up for you. And you can see that it's something. It says, I can see USA on it. Let's find out. Let's not mess around any longer with this thing. Let's find out who made this. Let's see here. We're all finding out together. I don't know. But the spud wrench, I mean, how cool is this? Just something CHOLD. Okay. WCO USA. What's it gonna be? Don't know yet. We're gonna find out. Should I break out the big boy? Let's break out the big boy. Where did I do with those glasses? Here we go. They're right here. Let's see. What are we dealing with? Who are you? Maybe somebody out there knows what this is. It looks like... Is it? Who knows? I am... What are we looking at here? This says something NCHOLD. Right? But man, see all that pitting right there, and it's taken off some of this. Is it trench old? Trench old or Trencholly and W Co. S and W Co. We're gonna have to go into alloyartifacts.com to look this one up, and I'll probably tell you about it later. To take this apart is going to be its own thing. It obviously used to have a wood handle as well, so Part of the restoration of this will be adding a new wood handle. This is going to come later. We're not going to do this one right away. But wait, there's more. Oops, I did it again. Another 18-inch Ridgid. Look at this one. It's a beauty, isn't it? I had to get it. It just, the price was right. And a Walworth Stilson. Now, I mistakenly called the Ridgids Stilson wrenches. They are pipe wrenches. They're rigid pipe wrenches. The Stilson has this hinge and these other springs. You get a little more play with the Stilson, but more potential for snappy snap right here on this hinge pin. If you got too much torque on it, like let's say you slid a pipe on the end of this handle for more leverage, you would probably just break that pin and there you go. Whereas the Ridgid's rigid. Okay, so what are we going to do first? What's on the plate for today for this 5th part? Well, we're going to get a little silly. I'm going to break out something that these are old transformers here. They're going to act as sort of a platform for me to tap out these pins here, if you don't mind. Now, I'm not going to tap all the pins out, only the ones that are necessary to get this thing apart. So it looks like 3 here that I'm going to need to get out. And it looks like they go this way. So we're going to find out. But the reason I'm taking this apart is so it gets properly cleaned. And we may have to find new pins after we do this. That's no big deal. We'll get some pins. I can get some metal and cut it. So let's get some punches out. I've got a whole bunch of punches here. Whole bunch of punches going on. Let's see, that's too big. Let's see. Which one should I use? What sort of punch should I use? I should use this bent one. I think, you know, I think this big Craftsman is going to be it right here. I think that's our best bet. That's what I should use. And then for the small one, we'll worry about that when we get to it. Again, you should wear safety glasses whenever you're doing any of this sort of thing. It even says right there, it says wear safety goggles. I'm wearing safety glasses because that's what I've got. I'll use this heavy hammer here. It's a 32 ounce. Probably a 16 ounce would work, but you know, nothing wrong with a little overkill. Let's just give it a couple little taps and see what happens. It's not looking too good. I may have to grind these off, and that's what I was afraid of. But let's just keep tapping here and see if we get any kind of movement at all. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think these are going to go through. That's a bummer. That's really a shame. Yeah, so I was hoping that they were, but yeah, these are going to have to be ground off, which I don't really want to do. Does that make sense? And do you understand why I don't want to do that? Create more work for myself. If I had a lathe sitting out here, you know, a Bridgeport milling machine, I'd be just pleased as punch to grind these out, but I really don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is just hit it with a brush here. Okay. Grab something like this. Yeah, that's really a problem. What about this little guy? Things that make you say, And this is one of them. And it's like deciding at the moment, do I want to just throw the whole thing into the simple green as assembled, okay, and risk not being able, Well, for one thing, not being able to polish the entire thing. Although, if we look here, I do have some play. And, you know, I could probably get some sandpaper in there and just kind of go like that. It probably would sand itself. Is that possible? Are we looking for a chrome finish on the inside of this or just on the jaw area? That's the other thing we got to think about. Do I just want the mirror finish on this part, on the face? And as far as the inner, don't worry as much about that. Give it that sort of two-tone look. I don't know. Let's put it in the drink. You know what? I'm going to put it in the drink as is. Because the degreaser and the rust and the evaporust is not going to affect these handles. In fact, it's going to clean them. And there could potentially get some moisture in here, but we'll use the heat gun after we get it all out. I'll heat gun it, blow gun it, heat gun it, and it'll be nice and toasty. Okay, I'm feeling good about it. All I'm gonna do is give it a little brush before I put it in the degreaser. Just get some of this crud off of it. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna get some crud off of this thing because it's not going in there alone. It's gonna have a friend. I'm feeling sort of Crescent. I'm feeling like Crescent tools should stick together. What do you say? Crescent tools should stick together. Especially made in the USA Crescent tools, which is sort of not something you hear about these days. You look now, you think, Crescent, that's a good brand. Made in China, just like everything else. And I'll show you here in a minute the adjustable wrenches I'm using out in the field these days from a brand you probably never heard of or never even thought about. But they're probably the best. They're the best tools I've ever owned as far as hand tools, adjustable wrenches anyway, that I've ever owned. And I'm a true believer in the company, just based on their adjustable wrenches. So here's the Crescent 8-inch adjustable. Let's just give it a little brush. It doesn't have a lot of dirt on it, but you can tell that it's very rusty. You can see it sitting there under the light. Now we got a couple things to do with chemical wise at the moment. Fortunately, the punches just wasn't in the cards today. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments below about it, but we'll worry about that when and if they happen. I want to talk more about this Walworth while we're at it. Look at this thing. Just look at this thing. It's still got some of that Model T black on it. How cool is that? Walworth had the original patent for, so Stilson was a guy who invented this type of wrench, this pipe wrench, that this design then inspired the Ridgid wrench, okay? But Walworth held the patent. They were the ones that sold it. So they were the first ones to sell the thing. Now, I don't know how long they lasted, but some of these go back into the 1800s. I believe the Stilson wrench was invented, whatever, Robert Stilson or John Stilson or Aloysius Stilson, whatever his name was. He patented it around, I'm going off the top of my head here, y'all can Google it, but it was sometime around the Civil War, either right before or right after. I don't think it was during. And I could be totally wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure during the U.S. Civil War, it was when the Stilson wrench, this guy right here, was invented. And I have his bigger brother here. That's the other reason I wanted this Walworth. It's because I have his big brother here. And this guy has saved me a number of times since I've had this for about, I don't know, 3 years. This thing, probably the 3 times I've used it, has just made my life so much easier. And it's one of those tools that these big ones are 36 inch. This is when you need it, man, you need it. So it's good to have around. Now I'm looking at this Craftsman that I've had for another number of years as well, and it's guaranteed. It's made in the USA, and it says Craftsman on it, but it's a Ridgid design. And I wonder, sort of to myself, as I think about these things, did Ridgid make this and write Craftsman on it? Was it some sort of licensing thing? You know, Craftsman paid Ridgid to just make them a 24-inch wrench or whatever, what have you. I don't know, because it's that Ridgid design. I mean, there's it's very close to the modern one that has that stripe in it or whatever, what have you. Yeah, we can think about that kind of stuff as we go along our life. But right now, we've got to do some stuff about these chemicals. Okay, so I've got, this is some used evaporust that I have in this vessel here. I had used this some time back when I did those little pliers and pieces of aviation snips that I've broken out as an example. So what I'm going to do, and I really hope this stuff will fit in here. It might be too much, but we're about to find out. We're going to pour this in there. I think we're barely going to make it. Look at that. Oh, yeah. We did it, friends. Look at that. Just perfect. So this is for later. We're saving that for our second bath for these tools that we're about to throw in here. We'll just set it down there for now. And let me get a couple of paper towels just to wipe out some of this excess. We've got some steel wool flakes in there. Yummy. It's just like when you clean out a drain at your shower. Only it'll really get you. Let's go here and just wipe it dry. Because what we're going to do next is a lot of fun. I'm just throwing this over here. It does all get thrown away. Okay, that's the stuff we do off camera. Now I've been filtering this dirty simple green back into its bottle here, but I think it got clogged, so we'll continue that process tomorrow. We'll just cover that up. Looks like I spilled some too, so we'll just dump the simple green in here. And look, there's no floaties in it. It looks good. It's a little darker, but it's still working good. And what we'll do is we're going to throw this guy right in there. Now, like I said, this degreaser is not going to hurt this rubber or plastic or whatever it is, this insulation on these handles. I could cut it all off and re-plastic dip them. I'd rather not. This is what you're going to find here. If you want to see some insane tool restorations, you know, you got them. They're on the internet. This is real life right here. Okay, I'm getting this thing clean. I'm gonna get it shiny, and I'm gonna use them. Okay, that's the plan. Now, let's check something here before we go any further with this. I want to see, and why is my little flathead not handy? Oh, we'll be lamenting this the rest of my life. Here, what I'm going to do is degrease it. I'm just going to dump it right in the degreaser, and we're going to worry about that later. What else do I want to throw in there? I want to throw this rasp in there as well. I really want to get this rasp going. I could use this out in the field like today, so I'm going to throw that in there as well. Let's kind of see what we got going on here. Let's try to finagle things. And what I'll do is I'll leave these open. Make sure it gets into every crevice here. In fact, we'll kind of do that here. And what you can do initially, if you want, you can start brushing this stuff right away. You don't have to wait to start cleaning. So you can just kind of do it while it's soaking, you know, right before. Loosen some of that stuff up. You know, activate it. you'll be multiplying. Let's see, rinse here, just get it going. Okay, look at that, it's already looking better. Because again, I'm going to filter this simple green. Filter it again and again until it's no good. Until it is just stinking. That's kind of my cue that I need to do something else. That I need to get a new bottle of stuff. Same with the Evaporust. When it starts to stink and just completely opaque, yeah, you're going to want to replace that. Get a new bottle. I maybe buy, well, it all depends on how often I'm doing this, but you know, a couple times a year I buy this stuff. I'm not out spending all my money on Simple Green and Evaporust, I can tell you that for sure. So we'll leave it here, my nice dirty lid. I know everybody likes to look at that, so we'll set it over here. It can dry right here in this layer. Let me show you something. Let me show you adjustable wrenches right now that are going to change your life. This is, I'm not paid by these people. They don't know anything about me. Martin Tools. Have you ever heard of Martin Tools? I didn't think so. Because these things are going to change your life if you get some Martin adjustable wrenches. I have never had an adjustable wrench, and I've had them from made by all, I've had all different kinds. I've never had ones that are just so smooth, that just work so well, that feels so good in your hand. They got a good weight to them. It's real. I etch my name into them. You can hardly etch into them. The steel is so hard. I just can't. I can't tell you how much I love these things, and I've already used them. I've only had them a month. You can see this tin. I have already got it pretty dingy looking, but these things, I just wanted to take a moment and tell you about Martin Tools. If you can find them, get them. Anything. I've got a couple screwdrivers that they make now that I know that they exist. I got a ratchet. I got another wrench that they make, a spud wrench. I just am so into these things, man. You gotta get them if you find them. You know, but that brings up a real good point. You know, if you find tools that you like, get those. Maybe you don't like these. Maybe you find them, they're just too smooth. Maybe they're too sleek. Maybe they're too well engineered. I don't know. They're not for you. You prefer, you know, the channel lock ones made in Spain. Those ones are good too. I got no issues with those. All right, moving on. Martin, I'm gonna leave them there so you guys can look at them. We got this ratchet here, this Craftsman ratchet. We're just doing a whole bunch today. Today's a grab bag. Today's like I've just been thinking about things. I got a head full of ideas that are driving me insane, as that guy once said. So, what's going on with this 1/2-inch drive Craftsman ratchet? Well, can you tell? I'll show you what's going on with it. Oh, I put the wrench on it and it works. Let's change direction here. I'll tell you what, when I've got the wrench on it, it goes just fine, because that's how good these things are. No, look at that. Something's not right. Oh, they're just, oh, now it's like a clutch or something. There's problems with this thing. This thing is unreliable, and I need it to be reliable. So let's open her up and see what's going on. We may need to order a rebuild kit, and I looked up the rebuild kit, made in China. So we're gonna, and they're $30. So, not that it's a problem that the rebuild kit is made in China. I don't really care about that. What I care about is that it's $30 plus, you know, shipping and all that. So, what I think I'm gonna do is find this model and see if they have it at Lowe's and see how much that costs. And if it's less, then the rebuild kit is online. Well, then I'm gonna go right ahead and buy the Chinese Bizarro Craftsman version of this ratchet and take the parts out of it and put it in here. I don't know if that's what I've got to do, then that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I have no shame in that. Because it's the same, what is it? It's the same rebuild kit, right? Okay, so there's my snap ring. Oh yeah, look at that. It's not looking pretty in there. Look at that, it's just so dry and rusty. No wonder it's not working. It's unreliable. I don't know how long I've had this for. I think I've had it for some time, but man, I bought it used. As I do many of my tools. Yeah, you know, I'm seeing some, I don't know if it's showing on the camera here, but man, this is sticky, whatever's in there. It is not good stuff, and I'm thinking these teeth are looking, here, I'm gonna kind of spin it around, just give it a look-see with the old eyeballs. I'm not seeing any big chips taken out, but they're not, it's not looking that great, but oh well. Let's take this out as well. Let's not lose it though. Now this is these little ones, they'll go flying. So you gotta be real careful with that. Yeah, see, same problem. Look at this. Disgusting. Yeah, it doesn't even want to come out. That ain't no good. Tain't no good. Okay. And there's the ball. That's not a ball bearing, it's just a ball. I know. Okay. Let's see here. Get that spring out. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is disgusting right here. What I'm looking at. Oh, ugh, man. Yeah, see, what they used is like automotive grease. You don't need to do that on these ratchets. I think some people say you do. And there's a couple of the ratchets, I can't remember which ones. I think they were the ones that are sort of the, I can't remember what they were called. Craftsman for a minute made these sort of like geared towards mechanics. And so they kind of had more of a snap-on style to them. Those ones, I think they came with like a grease packet. Almost like a ketchup packet of grease. And you would, you know, grease the teeth and the ball here. And the spring and whatnot. I'm gonna throw this stuff in the drink. I was thinking actually that this was totally shot. I'm gonna look at this again here. I'm gonna try to resurrect this using its original parts, so I don't have to spend the money to fix this, because I have other 1/2-inch ratchets. But for your benefit and for all our benefit, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this into the drink as well. So let's do that. Let's move that stuff over and put it in the simple green. I really should have like a colander or sieve or something, but since I've got so much different stuff in here, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to throw it in there with the rest of it. So what have I got in here? I've got a rasp. I've got this ratchet now, a Crescent adjustable wrench, and a Crescent water pump wrench. And we're going to get it all clean. And tomorrow we're going to probably clean all this stuff up. The ratchet will be fine. The ratchet will rebuild. The rest of it will go into the evaporust. And that's all she wrote today. I mean, I'm just excited. I've got a whole bunch of projects on the line here. You guys can gear it up for this big Stilson here. We've still got the Tremont. We've still got this. This is gonna be interesting. Whatever this is, I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. I'm sure I'll go on Alloy Artifacts tonight and look at it. Cause look, it looks like it's all mushroomed here. It's like you could use it as a hammer, a clamp, all sorts of things. I've never seen one like this. This is a very unique looking tool, and it looks like if I grind these off, I should be able to take it apart. But otherwise, yeah, see, I'll have to tap it out. And we'll see if that will actually come out. And Martin tools, you got to get them. They're the best. I'm telling you. Maybe they'll send me free stuff if I keep saying that enough. But they won't, because they're so under the radar. They're like, hey, before I go, I will tell you a little bit more about these Martin tools, something that I found out. So speaking of alloy artifacts, I as you know, I have antique tools. I do enjoy rusty old tools. And, you know, if you ever go to an automotive museum or anything like that, you'll see this display of old tools. Okay, there's always like these old wrenches and whatnot, and double-ended wrenches or something. And one of the things you'll see on these especially these box wrenches, or not old box wrenches, but old open-ended wrenches, you'll see these really robust ones, and they don't have any rust on them. Okay, they might have a patina, they might be dark, they might even be painted black, but they never have any real issues, and they're real old. You know, they're 100 years old at this point. We're talking 1920s. And it's a brand called Fairmount, okay? And they're super robust. Well, I looked into Fairmount, and I was doing some research on them because I have some of their wrenches, and I'm like, man, these things are heavy, and they're really good. What's the deal with these Fairmount? And in fact, I found Fairmount Stilson wrenches out in the wild, as well as Spud wrenches out in the wild, and I didn't buy them because the price was way up. Because they're that good. They're heavy, man. They're like Thor's hammer or something. Well, Martin is Martin Sprocket and whatever company. They make, you know, when you order something from these fine people, from these guys, you know, you're probably getting a Martin Sprocket or something. Now, Martin, at some point in the 1970s, 1980s, they bought Fairmount Tool Manufacturing Company and just changed the name to Martin. These are Fairmount. That's why these things are so damn good. They're so dang good. Yeah, they're the best tools. I'm telling you, if you find Martin out in the wild, get them. If you go to a good tool distributor, you know, ask them if they have Martin. I'm a big SK guy. SK is my, like, as far as ratchets and sockets and all that goes, SK all the way. Well, SK is a Chinese company now. I don't know if that means they're going to start making them in China, but it's certainly within the realm of possibilities. I know that when Stanley Black & Decker bought Craftsman, they said, oh, Craftsman's not going to change. Well, that's not true. You go into Lowe's and you look at, if you carried in there a pair of needle nose pliers that you got, you know, 5 years ago, or however long ago, yeah, 5 years ago, that you got at a Sears or an Ace Hardware or whatever, Craftsman needle nose pliers, and compared it to the Craftsman needle nose pliers made by Stanley Black & Decker, there's a world of difference. I mean, you can just tell. You don't even have to compare them. I mean, you can just hold the thing and look at it. Just look at the craftsmanship of how garbage they are now, and it's really a shame. I could go on about that, but. So, is the same thing going to happen to SK? Maybe. I hope not. But still, Martin, if you can find these, get them. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. And they've got whole wrench sets and socket sets and everything. Their catalog is like a phone book. And I know if I need a new tool, I know what manufacturer I'm going to look for first, if I can get it. And that's really the only issue, is they're not, you know, you're not going to go down to a local hardware store and pick them up. That's the only issue with them. But they're not in a tool truck. They're just where you can get them. Whoever's selling them has got them. So, you know, do yourself a favor, grab a wrench or two by these guys, try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think in the down below there. And okay, let's move on to the sixth one. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this rolling. We'll see you tomorrow.